I was speaking in Jerusalem at a world conference on recidivism. Recidivism is return to crime, return to the gang, return to prison. The Bible says the dog returns to his vomit. And that's why we have 70% of the people in prisons across America. I work in California prisons. I'll be in tomorrow night in New Orleans, this weekend in prisons and jails in New Orleans. I work in Puerto Rico for the last 25 years. 80% of the men and women that go to prison in Texas, California, Puerto Rico, and many states go back. Because it's like Chaplain Mike said, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So I was speaking at a world conference in Jerusalem. 16 nations were represented by the professionals in the business of behavior and corrections. And professor and leader and penologist after another would get up at this conference and they'd say the solution to recidivism, the solution to fighting crime is that when a person gets locked up, educate them, get them educated. And then when they get out of prison, you get them a job. And one after another, and we had people from India, we had people from Indonesia and from France and Moscow and America and Canada. We had people from Africa, and because the title of the conference was the first World Conference on Crime Prevention Through Religion. But nobody talked about religion of any kind. They talked about jobs and education. And finally, it was my turn to get up there, and I said, listen, I understand the importance of an education, that the more you learn, that the more you can earn. I understand that it is really a working person's world. I said, but I just spoke in a federal penitentiary in Fort Worth, Texas, and in the audience serving time were 22 judges, 30 lawyers, and several congressmen. I said, I rest my case. They all had higher educations. They all had great jobs. I said, but they had something that we're all born with. It's an issue of the heart. And if you don't deal with the person's heart, you're just passing out Band-Aids. And when these people would get up to make their presentation, they say, well, I represent the Knesset or the Paris University or this college or that, and my thesis and they would all tell who they were and what they represented. I said, I don't represent a country or a college or a thesis or a philosophy. I don't represent a religion or some story. I said, this is in Jerusalem. The top 2 rabbis of the country are sitting in the audience, with the top 2 imams from the Muslim nation are sitting there. This is a heavy deal. I said, I represent a young man that was drug out of this city and nailed up on death row, and he rose up from the grave, and the world measures time either before or after him, and I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ that changes a person's heart.